It's proving to be more challenging than not. Enemies to lovers is absolutely there. It changed my brain chemistry for the past several weeks. Invested in them right now, and they're our main characters, and they kind of annoy me. So I am very sensitive. I don't want people to judge me. I don't want people to be mean to me. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. Welcome to a new video. Welcome to a new reading vlog. It is another challenge reading vlog. That was Luna. That's still Luna. Spring into summer, I feel like I was like in a little bit of a reading slump. I feel like everyone was in a little bit of a reading slump. I have some books that have pulled me out of it. We're gonna be doing a challenge that I've never done before. I am a bit scared. We have done a challenge similar to this one, but we're ramping it up a little bit. I am going to try and read 200 pages every single day for a week. That is so many pages. I previously have done like I think 100 pages every day for a week, and that was a bit tricky. It is summertime. I am out walking every day. I have a little bit more free time, so I feel like I could actually do it this week. Of course, whenever I decide to start a challenge like this, invariably my week gets so busy, and right now I only have one thing to do each day. It should be no problem getting through 200 pages with only one thing to do every day. I feel like we can do it. I really do. We're starting on Wednesday. It is July 23rd. I will say I'm in between several books right now. One of them is, I'm going to be doing my own reading vlog for Onyx Storm though, so this book is not going to be part of the challenge, but I just wanted to let you know I am reading it, I am loving it, and it has its own video, so it's coming up. I am also reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the like Hunger Games prequel. This book came out in 2020, and I only recently watched the movie with my boyfriend. It changed my brain chemistry for the past several weeks. I have not stopped thinking about it for the past several weeks, partly also because I am like getting through the book. I'm on chapter 24 right now, or 25, so I'm pretty far along. Now I feel like I can definitely finish it in this video. I cannot wait to talk about that book because I know I'm like severely late to the game, because I feel like it had a resurgence when the book came out in 2020, and then when the movie came out in 2023 or 2024, I feel like everyone became really obsessed with Hunger Games, and that is what's happening to me right now. I am in it. I am deep in the thick of it. I have listened to the entire soundtrack. I have watched so many video essays on it. It is just such an interesting prequel, and I think there is a lot of reasons why it was a very successful prequel, and I can't wait to talk about those. And then, you guys, I am someone who I need to be between like several books. I need to be listening to an audiobook, reading a physical book, and reading a book on my Kindle. Like I need to have those three options. So our physical book is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Our audiobook is actually I just finished an audiobook, so we have to pick one of those, and that's usually what I listen to when I'm walking and things like that. My Kindle book, it's Manacled. Guys, I have succumbed. I am like, I feel like I'm so, if you watch me on YouTube, just like pretend you don't know me in real life, because I feel like there is such, I feel like it's getting less, but I do feel like there's just stigma against reading fan fiction, and like I get it. Like I would never talk about reading it in my like real life besides like a very close friend, just because I feel like there's a stigma, and I am very sensitive. I don't want people to judge me. I don't want people to be mean to me. Did download it from AO3 before it got taken off AO3. I feel like this became super popular, and you know the reason why? It's because it's becoming a book. It is becoming a full-on book. Do you know also why I am suddenly into Manacled and like the fan fictions? Because of these books. You guys, the fan fictions are becoming real books. These just came out. I saw them in Target. It's Rose in Chains by Julie Soto, who is an actual author. I did not know she was the one who wrote a fan fiction, but she's an actual author that I read several hundred books. There's Rose in Chains, which is supposed to be the Auction redo. And you know, I've never read The Auction. I haven't read any fan fictions. Actually, I read one, Manacled, my second one. This is apparently a very big fan fiction as well. And also, The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy is supposed to be like based off of Draco Malfoy and this book. It's like a long title, I forget what it's called. The fan fictions are becoming actual books, and of course they have to change things because, you know, they can't get copyrighted. I'm just like, wow. Before the most famous, in my opinion, fan fiction within the Harry Potter universe becomes a real book, it's gonna be Alchemized. I want to actually read the fan fiction. So that is why I started Manacled. It is so good, you guys. It is a book. I know she has to change things because, you know, she takes a lot of inspiration from Harry Potter, obviously, and The Handmaid's Tale, which I never saw, my mom loves, and she thinks is a really good show. But she took a lot of inspiration from those shows. She can't obviously put that in an actual published book, so she's making a lot of changes as to that. I think, like, I read an article and it said that, like, the magic is being replaced with, like, necromancers and alchemy. She made, like, some different changes. But I am reading Manacled. It is a long book. I forget how long it said that it was, but it's this many pages according to, like, if it was actually published. Manacled is. Mind you, I am on chapter 17. I'm only 16% of the way through. It says I have 23 hours left in this book. This book is huge. This Manacled is huge. I just feel like I need to read it before it actually gets traditionally published. So that is my Kindle book. We talked about my Kindle book, we talked about my physical book, and now we're gonna find an audiobook together on my walk. But yeah, those are the books we're gonna be going through today. First, I can't believe that I'm so comfortable with you guys that I am now talking about reading fan fiction. That is what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna be trying reading 200 pages a day. And here's the thing, because Manacled is on Kindle, I am going to include one Kindle page as like a page. I don't know, it's hard when you think about Manacled. So I'm on chapter 17 because there's not really any pages, you know? Probably read on my Kindle for the majority of it, and I'm just gonna keep on reading and start from chapter 17 and count 200 pages, like Kindle pages from there, and that's how we're gonna be counting that. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can read 200 pages every single day. That's a lot. I'm gonna start with Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Also, do you know what song this book, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, has in my head for the past forever? Back in the old There Before, or whatever it's called, the There Before, or that one. It's been in my head since I watched the movie. I've never been into folk. It's kind of good. Page 391. That's what we're starting on. Also, I do have some tabs in this book. I just think it's such an interesting study in, like, the origin of villain. So, can't wait to talk to you about it. Hi everyone, I just got back from my run, also my walk. I'm doing like 75 soft right now, so I do a 45-minute walk every day, and then I also do like a 30-minute workout, and today so happened to be a run. So what I usually do is I go for a run and then I just walk 45 minutes afterwards. And typically on my walks I have been either listening to an audiobook or reading from my Kindle or my phone. Today I read from my phone. We read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, of course. I got pretty far along. I'm on page 450. There's about 500 pages in this book, so I am almost at the end. And of course, I did see the movie The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It altered my actual brain chemistry. It's all I think about. The songs that were in the movie are obviously, like, the lyrics are in here. I don't know, it's like weird to me to like just read song when I'm like, I could just go listen to this song. The Ballad of Lucy Gray was just talked about, like, sung in the story, and I just turned on my Spotify and listened to Rachel Zegler's version, and it was so good. It was perfect. It just put me so much more in the story. I want to talk about this because, like I said, I'm about to finish it. I have so many thoughts right now that I'm just gonna do like my overall thoughts right now. This book is gonna have to be a 5 stars for me. I know, because, like, what? I'm telling you, the Hunger Games prequel being a 5-star was not on my bingo card in 2025. I really think that the reason this is a 5-star is because of the movie and because of the soundtrack and because of it as a whole. This would not have been a 5-star without, like, the movie and the soundtrack and just, like, all the things surrounding it. I've been watching cast interviews. That's how you know that I'm really obsessed, and I'm, like, fully obsessed again, is because I watch cast interviews. There are honestly a lot of really good videos on here. I'll put up the ones that I've been watching, just like sort of diving into the psyche of Snow, what it means to make like a successful villain origin story. I feel like they're gonna do a lot better at it than I am, so I'm just gonna let you leave those linked and you can watch them at your leisure if you're interested. But just overall, quickly, my thoughts on the actual book. There are some authors that have a super successful trilogy and then they try to, like, an example is Midnight Sun. Years later, they do like another version of their really successful series, and I feel like Midnight Sun just didn't hit and was not as successful as this one, and the reason is because I feel like this was not seen as like a cash grab. Like, I feel like Midnight Sun was in a way seen as a cash grab. Came out in like 2020 during COVID. I feel like Stephanie Meyer always put this idea of writing Anne Edwards' point of view, and she just got bored and wanted to publish it, and that's why Midnight Sun came out. And I read somewhere that Suzanne Collins put this out because she has something to say, and that is why she writes books. Very well comes across in this book. If you know Hunger Games, we watch A Battle of Songbirds and Snakes. We also rewatch all the 3 or 4 original Hunger Games movies, me and my boyfriend, because we were just like, again, fully in the obsession at the moment. Snow is just such a bad guy. Like, you're like, there's no possible way you could redeem him, Suzanne. And honestly, I don't know if it's necessarily like redeem is like the right word for this, because reading the book versus the movie, it is very clear that this is from the point of view of a narcissistic man. Like, Snow is a narcissist, and there are some things in here that are just like, because you're actually in Snow's head in the book, it is just like so much more clear that he's a narcissist. I don't think Suzanne's goal with making this book was to get sympathy for the devil, essentially. I think it was just showing how he became the villain in her story of the Hunger Games. It is so good because you see him start out as like, he definitely is a narcissist, but he has all these different pulls and these different people in his life, and it's the ones he chooses to believe that turn him into who he is. A big plot point in this is that Snow believes everyone is inherently evil, and basically the Hunger Games is just humanity stripped down, and if anyone had the choice, that's how they would act. So he thinks that, like, everyone's inherently evil. People in here that also have that same opinion, he latches onto them as like, see, that's proof, like, this is proof that what I'm saying is real. But there's also like the Covey and Lucy Gray of people that are like, everyone is inherently good, and he has so many chances to experience like the good in humanity, but he doesn't really latch onto that. It's the evil in humanity that he latches onto, and I think that's just so interesting for like a young adult book to explore. There's just so much more I can say about this. People have said it was a little bit too long. It is over 500 pages. Why should a prequel be 500 pages? I think it was necessary. I mean, there are literally 3 parts in this book. Like, part 1 is the mentor, part 2 is like during the games, and part 3 is the peacekeeper. So there's like 3 whole storylines within this book, and I think that's why it's so long. But I also think that the little Easter eggs that Suzanne Collins included in here as like a nod to her original series was so fun. One of the ones that I literally just read, Lucy Gray sang the Deep in the Meadow Under the Willow song to Maud Ivory, which is the song that Katniss sang to Rue when she died, and I feel like that little nod to the original series was fun. Also, they just found a plant that's called Katniss, the hanging tree song that becomes so important to Mockingjay's storyline. Lucy Gray wrote that, and we got to see her writing that, and I just think it's so cool how she included those little Easter eggs. I love that. I only have 50 pages left. We're gonna go finish it, and then we will be halfway, a little over halfway, to our goal of 200 pages today. So I'm excited for that. This book just hit so well for me. I had such a good time. Read it if you haven't read it. It's so interesting. But also, I would recommend watching the other 3 movies while you're reading this, and then watching the movie, because the movie is amazing. It's just such a successful adaptation, and that's rare now. So I love the movie too. One thing that I also noticed, sorry, and then I will like actually read, is I highlighted a lot of things that is like shows that Snow is narcissistic, because he constantly refers to Lucy Gray as his, like, mine, she belongs to me, she's my girl. And yes, as a book talk girly, we love that, but also from Snow's point of view, it's like that's his property, and that is a very narcissistic way of viewing like a human being. So that is another big example of how we see Snow's like mindset in this be so narcissistic, and how he could very feasibly turn into the president instead of the villain. So I thought that was interesting. It is also very interesting the way that he like convinces himself of his crazy perspectives. Like, oh no, I'm doing the right thing. Like, yes, I'm turning him in, but that's like the right thing to do. And here's X, Y, and Z reasons why. Like, I'm just doing the right thing. It's so good. Hello everyone. Oh wait, I need to raise you guys up a little bit. Is that better? Can you see me better? Oh, I'm totally backlit. Oh my goodness. Anyway, hi, good morning. It is actually Friday. I did not talk to you at all yesterday. I am so sorry. So rude of me for not talking to you at all. I was very busy yesterday, so we did not reach our 200 page goal, but we did reach it on day one on Wednesday. I am realizing that 200 pages, even though in my mind it doesn't sound like much, I don't know why it doesn't sound like much to me in my mind. It just doesn't. It is a lot. It's gonna be a lot harder than I thought it would be. Today, we are free and open until like 6, and it is currently 8:47 in the morning. My goal is to get a lot of reading done today. I have some updates on our books that we have been reading. We're in my kitchen because I like talking to you guys about my books as I'm doing something else. And I do like just like sitting and chatting, but it's also fun to be making a coffee, like my morning coffee with you guys while I'm telling you about these amazing books that I'm reading. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I have done this, like I've done making a coffee with me a lot throughout the past few videos, I feel like. I'm not gonna super explain to it, but we're gonna coffee while we're talking about my books. On Wednesday, we reached our 200 page goal. The ones that we read were Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I did my whole little speech about that. I still am obsessed with it. I think about it all the time. Specifically Top Life, but still. So we finished that. So that was, I read from page 391 to page 517. And then we read our little delve into fan fiction, Manacled, from chapter 17 to like 4 pages into chapter 20. This is a fan fiction, so it's really hard to have like the page. It doesn't have page numbers, it just has like location numbers when I read my Kindle, so I don't know how to tell how many pages I read, so I'm just doing it like by Kindle page. With that combined, we read our 200 pages on Wednesday, and I was successful on day 1, which is nice because on day 2 I was not as successful. I actually started several new books yesterday. One is First Time Caller. I took the cover off, but it's right here. We read 2 chapters of First Time Caller, so we're on chapter 3. Oh my gosh, sorry, Coda is being so loud over there. It's cute so far. The text on the page is really big. I did not expect it to be this big. Not too much has happened. We were introduced to our 2 main characters. Aiden, a talk show host of like the Boston's most successful radio show, like romance show. He like is going through a lot, where specifically it says like he's been doing it for like 8 years or something. I've been struggling, I think, afraid to say the word out loud, afraid to make it real. I've been struggling and I have no idea how to fix it, if it can even be fixed. I think it's possible I've fallen out of love with love, burned by one too many lackluster calls. Burned by the shitty circumstances of my family's been handed to. It feels like every time I get my hopes up for something good, reality comes swinging. I don't know how to be a hopeful person anymore. It's easier not to be. So he basically has been this guy who's supposed to be most popular romance talk show host has fallen out of love, and his ratings are dropping. So it starts with like his best friend at the radio show being like, hey, like what's going on? We need to improve our ratings. Like what's going on with you? Lucy is our female main character. Her 12-year-old daughter calls in to this radio talk show host to get her mom some help, and it's really funny the way that the exchange goes. That is where we're at. Like I said, only a couple chapters in. It's cute. I need to read more into it to get more invested in the characters, because right now I feel like I'm not that invested in them. But that's First Time Caller. And then we also started Addicted to You, which is on our July TBR. I only read a chapter of Addicted to You. This is like one of the most famous, I feel like, book talk books ever. It's pretty old. Lily and Laura are main characters. One's addicted to sex, one's addicted to alcohol. They are part of sort of like, they live in Philadelphia, but they're also part of the elite society where like their families are really rich and they want like their trust funds and stuff like that. They basically pretend to date each other because their parents think that them dating each other is helping their vices of being addicted to sex and being addicted to alcohol, but they are just pretending and they're basically just letting each other get away with it. There seems to be some like weird thing between Lily and Lo where Lo, who's Lauren, the guy, he like kind of is flirty with Lily and then he pulls back. Is this just an act? Makes it seem like it's not an act. So even in the first chapter, we're getting some mixed signals from Lo, and it's confusing Lily and it's confusing me. So I'm interested to see where that goes. And then of course we read some more of Manacled. Manacled is a very, very long fan fiction. It's gonna take me very long to get through. I don't have much hope that I'm gonna get through it in this video because I started this, if you know reading on a Kindle, it says like once it gets your reading speed for a few chapters, it says like how many hours it'll take for you to finish that book. And it has changed since I started, but it's always been somewhere between like, overall this book is gonna take me 35 hours to read. Which is so long. That's like 3 times normal book lengths are. So this is, I don't think I'm gonna finish Manacled, so I'm just gonna reading it as I can. Those are our books that we are going to be, that we read yesterday, that we're gonna be reading it today. And even though I said I like talk to you while I make my coffee, I didn't even make my coffee. So we are gonna do that, and we are going to read some more. Yesterday I only read 79 pages. So I had an excess of 121 pages. So I'm just gonna add that on to today's total. So today we have to read 321 pages. But like I said, we're not busy until 6. So what I'm actually gonna do while I make this is this is where I use my audiobooks, where it comes in handy, because I'm going to play the audiobook of First Time Caller. We're gonna get these pages read.
Silence fills the airwaves. It's a fair reaction. I'm sure Maya's mom didn't expect to walk in on her daughter having a conversation past her bedtime with the host of a public radio show.
Clearly nighttime as I'm in my pajamas, but we read 321 pages today. Can you even believe that that actually happened? I have to say, I was reading constantly. I went on my walk and I was reading on my Kindle, and then I came home, took a shower, and then I read. I just read so much, and then I just decided to finally figure out how many pages I read, and I read 321. I actually think I'm gonna read more than 321 today. And you know why? Because a lot of that reading is happening right on this Kindle right here. Know that I said that I'm trying not to totally read Manacled. It's just so gripping. I can't explain it. I understand why it's so popular. It's literally a book. Like, it is better than some of the books that have been published. It is more gripping and more, I don't know, it's just more than some books that have been published. And I have been just constantly scrolling through it. I'm at like probably the midpoint now, which is a feat because it's a long book. I still have a long way to go, and I think that that is what helped me get to 321, because 321 is so long. Like 321 pages is like this much. this many pages of a book. It's 321. That's a lot of pages, okay? It is good. I'm not gonna talk about it super a lot because there's a lot of spoilers, but it's just like the way that she sort of like plants little things throughout the story and then they get revealed later on is just so interesting. And it's a good story. It's a gripping story. I also read more of Addicted to You, and I read more of First Time Caller. Addicted to You, I am on chapter 5, and that is page 62. Will you hate me if I say I don't really like Lily and Lo right now? I feel like people that I've talked to have said like in the first book Lily and Lo are annoying. And that's a problem because they're the main characters in the first book. But as you go on they get so much better. But I think I am still, because I'm only on chapter 5, like I'm at the point where they're still kind of annoying me. She is just whiny and I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to like pass too much judgment because they're addicts. I don't know. I just don't really understand them right now. I think that's what it is. I don't understand them. And it's hard for me to like really root for characters that I don't necessarily understand in the sense of, I know they have addictions, but they're not great for each other and I don't really understand their chemistry. I think they, like there are some parts that I read where they have a lot of chemistry and there's some parts that I read where I'm just like, it's just so awkward and I don't know, like I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't know how I feel about Lily and Lo yet. Addicted to You. It is definitely like, we're just sort of learning it. We met all of the sisters, the Calloway sisters. We're learning sort of like character introductions and things like that. But yeah, it's basically what I said. They're basically dating each other to make their parents think that they're like helping each other with their addictions, but they're really just enabling each other. So it's interesting. I want to kind of see that character growth. I'm interested to see the character growth of Addicted to You a lot. And then we read First Time Caller a lot. We are on, farther along in this book, we are on chapter 8, page 86. I'm actually really liking this book. Like, I have already tabbed a decent amount of things. There are actually some really amazing quotes in here, which I don't know why I didn't expect that, but I didn't expect that from this book. I'm really enjoying reading it. I'm so sorry, my camera died. I had to replace the battery pack. But we were talking about First Time Caller. I actually am genuinely like enjoying this book. The characters are fun. We got to the part where her interview went viral and she didn't expect it to go viral. Now we're at the part where his boss wants to save the radio show. She is asking Lucy to come on, and it's sort of like a bachelorette type dating thing where Lucy is gonna join Aiden during like his heartstring segment of the show, like I guess like talk about love and try and find a person for her, find her like perfect love story, stuff like that. And he's not a big fan of it because he's like, so you're basically trying to exploit this girl's love life or lack thereof and do like a bachelorette type thing. Lucy is scared of it because she's like, I don't know if I want the whole world knowing my business. Like, she said something super deep, but that's because she didn't think a lot of people were listening, but then it went viral. He said, that's alright, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do as far as like dating. And then Lucy says, no, that's not what I mean. I don't want to try. All I do is try. All day long I'm trying and I'm so tired. Why can't this dating be the one thing I don't have to try at? Why can't it be a thing that just happens? I don't want to think about what I should say or how I should act or have talking points in the notes app of my phone for a dinner date at a restaurant that I don't really like. I want to feel something when I connect with someone. I want sparks, the good kind, you know? I want to laugh and mean it. I want goosebumps. I want to wonder what my date is thinking about and hope it might be me. I want all the magic. That's so cute. So that's her little quote that went viral. And what's cool about this also is at the end of every chapter, they have these little like radio segments, a snippet of one of the shows. Cute. There are just some really cute quotes about love and like finding love and everything in this book. I do like B.K. Borthen's author's voice better in this. I remember saying, like when I read Love Light Farms, the way she wrote was just a little bit, it wasn't as flowing for me, like it was kind of hard to get through. This is a lot better. I don't know what changed, but in this book, her writing is so much better for like my brain and how I like process information. It just makes more sense to me and it like flows easier. So I'm enjoying that part. Like I said, we read 321 pages. I'm literally probably going to read more. Not because I have to, but because I just really like these books. And then tomorrow, we're back on our grind for 200 pages. We were successful. What a comeback, honestly. Successful day 1, not a successful day 2, and overly successful day 3. We made up for it. 321 pages is so crazy to read in one day. I'm going to read a little bit more. We're going to watch a movie. And I'm going to see you tomorrow for day 4. Now, I'm gonna start my reading. I am in a bit of a pickle because, like I said, this video took me longer to edit than usual. Usually editing a secret sit-down videos take a lot shorter for me to edit than like reading vlogs like this one. There are, you know, not as many clips, there's not as many like cuts and things like that, so I'm gross. I'm so sorry. I literally just ran 5.5 miles, so that is what this is. I needed to talk to you now because I'm about to leave again. I was editing literally all day and it took longer than I thought it would to edit because I had to add a lot of pictures and text and things like that, which is fine, but it just takes longer. That took me a while, and then right when I was done, it was already like 3 or 4 p.m. and we have to go to dinner at 6:30. We have like a little barbecue that our friend is having at 6:30. I don't have too much time to read. I am gonna go hop in the shower, maybe listen to my audiobook while I'm in the shower just to, like, you know, check off some pages. But I have a feeling that this is gonna be a day where we are not going to read as much as we did. But that's okay because yesterday we read a lot. We read so much yesterday. After I hit the 321 pages, I did read after that, but I'm not gonna include that just because I want it to be like actually, like, that's just bonus. I'm not gonna like bank that up. It's just bonus. So we're gonna go for 200 pages today. It is gonna be a lot harder because, like I said, we're about to go to a barbecue. I'm gonna see what I can get read. We'll see where we're at then. Hey guys. Hi there. Welcome to day 5, reading 200 pages a day challenge. It's proving to be more challenging than not. I've been writing down and tracking like how much I read every day. Wednesday, day 1, we were good. We read 200 pages, exactly. Thursday, we only read 79 because I was super busy on Thursday. And then Friday, we added on the 121 pages that we were supposed to read on day 2. We added that to day 3. So on Friday, we did do it. We read 321 pages, which is so many pages when you think about it. And as you know, a lot of that was through Kindle. Yesterday, we had only read a few pages. First Time Caller. And with First Time Caller, I think we read like 5 pages of First Time Caller. It really wasn't that much. I'm on chapter 8 and it's fun. She was asked to come be like a co-host on the radio show that made her viral. So she just got to the radio station. We could see the sparks flying a little bit between the radio show host and her. So that is where our romance is. Those are the people on our front cover. There's gonna be some tension in that booth, I feel like. It could be really fun because I think they're like a dating show type thing where people are gonna call in to be like a good match for Lucy, and I could just feel that Aiden is gonna get jealous. I could just feel it. So yeah, on Saturday we have to make up 195 pages. So we are gonna add that to our total today. Day 5, with our 200 plus the 195, we have 395 pages that we have to read today. I know I said this was gonna be like a week-long video. I think I might just like the business week, you know, because I would like to get this video up. So I'd like to get it up this coming week. So this might be our last day. We'll see, maybe not. Regardless, we got a lot to read. I went on my walk and I did read a good amount of Manacled. So I started at flashback 7 and now I'm at flashback, I think like 13 maybe. So I have to count that up on my Kindle how many pages that was already. But I also want to read more First Time Caller. I am genuinely enjoying the way that story is going. Addicted to You, I put on the back burner a little bit. I definitely will go back to it because I could see the draw, but like I said, like I'm on the first book. I don't find Lily and Lo to be like great characters. I am just not invested in them right now, and they're our main characters and they kind of annoy me. So I feel like I would have loved Addicted to You when I was in like college. Like when I was in college, high school, I feel like I would have loved Addicted to You, but now that I'm out of college, high school, I feel like my reading tastes have just changed, which they're supposed to, so that's good. I don't know if it's my cup of tea right now. Go on our second walk of the day after I have an appointment, so I'm waiting for my doctor to get on, and then she's done, we are going to go on our second walk of the day because we are still doing 75 soft. I think I said this already, like I want to do like a whole recap of 75 soft because I think it was cool. Let me get my Kindle to see how many pages we have already read because I feel like it's already been a lot. I am wearing shorts under this. This is a top that I got from 3 people, I want to say. And it is so cute. Like, I'm kind of giving Halloween right now, but this is just, it's like such like a cute sweatshirt. I don't know, like it has, it's like a little cutout and the sleeves are so big and I love it. Yeah, just wanted to say that. Okay, so what did I say? We have to read 395 pages today. Yikes! We're a few pages into flashback 12. So if I go back to flashback 7 where I started, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 25, 26, 59. See, oh, I see when there's like pictures, I'm not really counting that page, so 60, 61, 62, 100. Now we're on flashback 12, 101, 102. You're at 102 pages already so far of Manacled. Okay, so we're at 102 pages so far today. We need to read 395 pages. So that means we have 293 pages left to go, which is still a lot of pages. I think I'm gonna take a break. The reason why I'm reading on my Kindle so much and I'm doing so much on my Kindle is because I take it out when I walk. And it's just, I would much rather be like holding my Kindle and walking than holding a book and walking, because it's just like the whole big book, I don't know about all that. So let me go get First Time Caller. I'm gonna read something First Time Caller. We are a few pages into chapter 8. Also, this has a lot of really cute quotes. I just underlined one. She's like trying to convince her to do this like radio show with Aiden, and the manager of the radio station says, "What if this is what you've been waiting for? What if it's all a string of choices and moments and events and decisions that have led you to exactly right here? And what if what happens next is the good part, the part you've been waiting for?" Which I like they're just like quotes like that where I feel like I like that sentiment. So we're gonna start reading. We are on page 92. So let me mark that down. Alright, hi, I'm still here. We are just about finished with chapter 9. I have some qualms with this book. So like I said, there were a ton of good quotes, nice quotes, but it feels like she's doing it too much. Okay, listen, I love me a good quote. I highlighted and underlined pretty much every single page of Magnolia Park, but something about those quotes felt a lot more natural to be like thrown into the book, and I feel like these are unnaturally thrown into the book. I feel like she's trying to get one-liners. It's just some like cheesy lines, and even like the funny element, like she's trying to have some funny elements. I just feel like she's trying too hard. I don't know, it's not hitting like it does with Magnolia Park. What's the one I just read? Okay, so they're talking about like having a dinner together. She says, "There's comfort in this routine, in the sound of muted music and clinking glasses and the wobbly drawer that holds all the silverware slamming shut. Here in this home, my loneliness feels farther away. Here it's easier to pretend I'm okay." And that's sweet, right? But it's just, I don't know, there's something about it. In the next paragraph, she says, "I think of the woman on the phone who talked about being brave, about Aiden and his messy hair and his honest eyes, the itch in my hands and the pull in my chest when I stood in the middle of that studio, hearing a whole new set of possibilities through those headphones." Am I being too much of a critic? Like, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it flows as well. What she says versus what's in her inner monologue just doesn't fit. It's not in a way that's like, oh, she's hiding all this stuff. She's saying these things, but then she's like thinking, I don't know. It doesn't fit. It's lovely in a way few things are. Warmth spreading through me with every too loud laugh. Like, come on. I just feel like that was all in like the same couple paragraphs, and I just feel like it's trying too hard to be that descriptive. I don't know if I'm explaining this even right, but I just feel like it's kind of cheesy sometimes. And also even some of the things that she says. Oh, hold on, my doctor's online. Sorry, I saw that my doctor had logged on right as I was filming that, so I had to jump on. Yeah, so that just like, I don't know, I feel like she's trying too hard to have underlinable, quotable lines in here. It doesn't flow with the story. I don't know, it doesn't feel like it needs to be there. It's like every single paragraph too. It's like music and laughter filter through the door and my heart rolls over in my chest. Family, belonging, love, the only kind I've ever known, the kind I made for myself. Which is sweet, but she's literally just eating dinner. Like, she does that all the time. So it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Maybe I just sound like a cynic. And then also one thing, this is a little thing, and maybe I'm just like being picky with this book. A lot of times she does like repetition of lines. One example where I was like, oh, there it is again. I saw it like 3 times in the past 3 chapters. I did something for someone just by dash, just by being myself. And it's like, why do you have to do just by? Like, can you see that? Right here. You know, she does like just by dash, just by being myself. And then literally 2 pages before that, I underlined this because it was a good quote, but it's the same thing where it says, and what if what happens next dash, what if what happens next is blah, blah, blah. Like, why do you repeat it after the dash? We just read it. We don't need to see it again. I'm hoping it turns out. Like I said, I do like the story. I just feel like some of the author choices aren't something that I'm flowing with for my reading style. I sound like a hypocrite because I have so many lines underlined in Magnolia Parks that are like this, but like, they're better. I feel mean saying that, but it's just like they're top tier quotes. They perfectly flow with the story and the dialogue and the characters' actions, it flows. This just feels like the author just wants a quotable line every other page. So, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm about to reach, I'm done chapter 10, and then I'm gonna go on my walk, but yeah. We're okay though. I think it's gonna be good. Hello, Editing Sarah here, and you know what that means? It means you get a Snapchat filter, because when I have an editing day, I don't really think about what my face looks like. I don't put on makeup, I don't do really anything with my face, and I just don't want to do a little jump scare for y'all, so we have a filter on. I wanted to say that I had a clip in here where I was walking, and it was day 6, and I had talked about how I decided that I'm only gonna do 5 days, because that's like 1,000 pages, like I read 1,000 pages this week. I feel like that was just like a good point for me to stop at. Like originally I was gonna do full 7 days, and then I just stuck to 5 pages, so I explained that. I explained a whole bunch more, but then the audio got like weird because I was outside and there was a bunch of cars passing by. So this is me trying to basically re-say what I just said in that clip that I had to delete. I basically said that we are considering day 6 as our like overflow day. We're just gonna record it and talk about what we're reading and everything like that, but it's not gonna like super count for the challenge. I also talked about how I kind of apologize that mainly what I read is Manacled in this video, because it was a bad idea for me to film this 200 pages a day video when I was reading Manacled, because that's all I wanted to read. Like, I don't want to talk about it too much because people who are not into like the Harry Potter fanfiction, the Hermione world, like they don't care. And also, I'm incredibly awkward when I talk about fanfiction. Literally, like when I'm recording videos, I'm literally just talking to a camera. Like to me, it does not feel real. Like after I talk to a camera, it doesn't feel like people are actually seeing it. But they are. I just put it onto YouTube and let it do its thing. Don't really filter myself when I'm filming. Like I don't go around chatting about how I'm reading my second Draco Hermione fanfiction throughout my life, just because I feel like, again, in the beginning of the video, we talked about how there was a stigma with it, and I like that on this channel, we all get it. Like, we all get, like, we all support what everyone reads. Like, I love that. Yeah, I just basically apologize for mainly reading Manacled in this video, because I tried to read First Time Caller, I tried to read Addicted to You, but I did not finish either of those books, which should have been very easy for me to do when I was reading 200 pages a day for 5 days. 6 days really, but I just wanted to keep reading Manacled. I didn't want to talk about it as much because people, again, like that don't really care about it. Like I don't want to talk about it if you don't care about it, like, you know. I just basically lost that clip, but I wanted to pop in here and say that we did have a day 6. It's a bit of an overflow day. I think I ended up reading like honestly like 150 pages that day because I was just so into Manacled. But yeah, now we're going back to Past Sarah. Hello friends, wanted to update you. I just read so much sitting right here. I got so into it, and I wanted to update you because it's like my last update before we are done. We are doing our outro. We are done with our challenge. We did so well. I know I literally just explained it to you when I was on my walk, but we did really well, except for the fact that all I was reading was this. I'm not gonna talk your ear off of it. I'm just gonna say generally the character development is there. The quotable lines are there. The plot development is there. Enemies to lovers is absolutely there. One of my most loved enemies to lovers stories is the Fourth Wing series, the Empyrean series, and I was like, is this better? No, it's not better. I don't think it's better, but it's definitely enemies, like, because you know their history of the past like 7 years, very much enemies and now the like creeping towards lovers, I feel like the emotional waves, there's a reason this book is over 1,000 pages if it was printed, because there's so many emotional waves that they're going through, and I feel like it's honestly super realistic. And that's what I'm gonna say on that. I had to read 395 pages, and I read 360 pages today. That's so many. So I have 35 pages left. Again, I'm doing Kindle pages, so one chapter of this is pretty much 35 pages, so I can just finish another chapter of this, or I can read First Time Caller. I don't know. I think I might read First Time Caller just to say that I did. I feel like if I wasn't just like locked in on this one book, I would have read so many books. Like, if you think that I had to read 1,000 pages in this past 5 days, and you know, I know we did like day 6, a little overflow day today, but either way, in like basically a week, I had to read 1,000 pages, and I read over that. Like, I didn't count how much over that I read, but I definitely read over that. So that's pretty good. And I feel like, I mean, I know there are books that are like literally 1,000 pages. Like, I know Kingdom of Ash is like very close to 1,000 pages or something like that. But you could read a lot of books in that. I feel like you could read like at least 2, maybe 3 books within that 1,000 pages. I would recommend doing this challenge, honestly. It just really helped me get out of the slump. I feel like a lot of us are in a slump right now. Like, I just feel like we're slumping. We're collectively slumping, and I see a bunch of things on TikTok, a bunch of things on YouTube about like, help me get out of my slump, help me get out of my slump, I'm in my worst slump ever. I just feel like we're slumping, and I think that it's just the, what's the phrase? It's like the error of choice or something, where it's like there are too many good books that recently came out, too much availability of good books to read, that we just don't know which ones to go for and which ones to start. That's what I think. And I was actually thinking about this when I was in the car earlier. I was like, I buy so many books. I have a really big fall book haul coming for you. I know I'm just doing like seasonal book hauls, but I have a really big fall one coming. I have collected so many books. You know what I realize I do is that whenever I hear about a book that I think I'm really gonna like, I just automatically like buy it, so I don't forget that I want to read that book. And that's why I have so many books on my physical TBR, because I don't want to forget that I might really like that book. But I was like, Sarah, the books are gonna be there when you get through all your physical TBR, however many years that takes. The books that you wanted to read are gonna be there. So I think what I'm gonna start doing is I am going to start keeping like a Notion page, just like books I don't want to forget about, and it's gonna help me not buy so many books but not feel like I'm gonna forget about them. And I'm just going to type out books that I see that I'm like, I think I'll really like this one, I think I really like this one, like a wish list type thing, because I need to stop buying so many physical TBR books. We are moving. We are probably moving recently. Fun, really fun. That is gonna be a lot of books to move into the new place. I'm not good at unhauling. I've been seeing a lot of unhaulings going around too. I'm not good at unhauling. I have an issue with letting things go, so I'm not gonna do an unhaul anytime soon. At least I don't think I am. We gotta just cut down the books that's some way. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. Like, I know it's like I'm saying this like this is like a revolution. I think it's not revolution. I know a lot of people do this. I just have bad impulse control. I'm gonna read 35 more pages. I will check back in and I'll let you know what that is. Probably gonna be First Time Caller or Manacled. Maybe even Addicted to You. Either way, those are the 3 books that we read in this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was all like basically one book. That wasn't my intention going into this. I don't know what in my brain, knowing how popular this was, I don't know what made me think that I would be able to read other books and not just want to keep reading this book. Those are the books we are going to read. I am definitely gonna finish reading all 3 of them. If not in this video, then in the next one. They're gonna be on my wrap up coming up. I do like bi-monthly wrap ups. That's gonna be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of those books down below. I'm just so curious about just like seeing like what kind of books people actually like, because I feel like these books are like I have like an older book, Addicted to You, I have a newer book, First Time Caller, and I have like a fan fiction. So what books do you read? I'm so curious. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.